Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John, and this video is going to be my thoughts on the upcoming Zombie Flesh Eaters released by Arrow Video on 4K on the 28th of July 2025. I must admit that when I first heard that Arrow were going to release Zombie Flesh Eaters on 4K Special Edition, I was quite surprised because we had that amazing 4K a few years ago from Blue Underground, which will compare with the Arrow one and my thoughts on what the Arrow one could be later in this video. So when I heard this news, I immediately put in for the original art special edition from Arrow that's available from their website only. And the other cover is going to go on general release, even though it's sold out on Arrow's website at the moment, but you can get it from Amazon. So speaking of original art, check this out. I got this off my good friend Mikey. And I did a live stream. Me and Nige did a live stream with him. I'll leave a link to that live stream down below because Mikey, as well as being a collector of lots of great horror memorabilia, he has got the most amazing Evil Dead collection you will ever see. You've probably heard me talk about him many times, but I urge you to get through and check out that link down below because when me and Nige had that stream with him, we couldn't believe what we were seeing, and then we only scratched the tip of the iceberg when it comes to his collection. But I want to thank Mikey once again for thinking of me and sending this to me. So as you know, Zombie Flesh Eaters is my favourite horror film of all time. And to get this, to receive this from Mikey so generously, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. It was just a revelation, and it's one of my prized possessions. I want to thank him once again. This can't be played because it has got some mold damage, but it doesn't matter. The fact it's here and the fact the thing I just like about this is when I show this and I look at this, it just transports me back to VHS days in the video library when these things were on the shelves and you just saw them and you just had to rent them because of the covers mainly. They're just brilliant. I mean, everything about it is so tactile and it takes you back to those heady days in early 1980s in the video library. And even the noise of these boxes, how they can kind of, when you pick them up and you make these noises, these kind of creaks and moans, it's like the best time capsule you will ever have. I managed to track down a couple of screenshots from the web. How accurate they are, I do not know, but they'll give you an idea of what these look like. So once again, that's the original Vipco pre-cert. Thanks once again, Mikey. Cheers, mate. I just want to talk quickly about a few other releases. First up is the Blue Underground DVD of Zombie, or Zombie 2. Actually, the whole story about Zombie or Zombie Flesh Eater is the name of it. I'll leave a link to a video I did trying to explain about the whole Zombie franchise. It was a mind bender to do it, but take a look at it if you haven't seen it already. Now, I got this off my good friend Chris Soto, and he sent that over to me from the States. Now, putting this on, the picture quality is quite good. Now, Blue Underground are renowned for how good they get their picture qualities throughout all their releases, whether it be DVD, Blu-ray, 4K. They always look spectacular in the most part if they've got their elements. So I want to thank Chris once again for this addition to my zombie collection. That's the American Zombie. And of course, here is the Blu-ray version from Arrow of Zombie Flesh Eaters. But this one here was a revelation when I saw it when it came out on Blu-ray. I did have the original Blu-ray from Blue Underground, and I thought that was brilliant. But this one for me seemed to be the better picture quality. It was more sharper in my eyes. Now, I'll talk more about this one or the special features on here when I get to talk about the 4K of Zombie Flesh Eaters. But as a Blu-ray goes, it is absolutely incredible. Of course, I've turned the reverse art around to the hand. For me, that art, which that's the one I'm getting on the 4K, is the art that belongs with this. This is one of the most well-known video nasties of all time, and this cover speaks volumes when it comes to it. So can't ever have this on the shelves without having this cover on it. So that's the Blu-ray of Zombie Flesh Eaters from Arrow. And to bring you right up to date, here's the 4K from Blue Underground of Zombie or Zombie Flesh Eaters. And also I want to thank my good friend again, Chris Soto, for supplying me with a backup copy. I can't thank you enough for this one. This is absolutely brilliant. So I've got a backup if I ever need it. Thanks once again, Chris. Now, when I put this on and I saw this one, it was like a revelation. I've never seen this looking this good. In fact, this is one of the best 4Ks you will ever see in my estimations. And this was going to be it for me. I didn't think at that point when this got released, maybe, I don't know, about 5 years ago, I didn't think that this would have ever been brought out again. I thought this was going to be the last version of this one. Now, I was hoping that Arrow would bring out a big box set of this. It was kind of one on your wish list, but it would never ever, you thought it would never ever see the light of day. So because this has been released, this is getting released on the 28th of July, I was like, I can't believe this. Now, of course, I'm going to keep this one because I do think that this is a spectacular version. And what I will do is, of course, I've got the two version. I am double dipping a lot more than double dipping on here. But because it's my favorite film of all time, horror film, I can't say no to it. Now, speaking of Arrow and the Lucio Fulci box sets, they released previously City of the Living Dead and also House by the Cemetery. The protectors from here are from Steelbook Central. Now, if you can see that they have different widths. This one's quite wide, it fills up the box. This one is a little bit, it's got a bit access there, or excess there. Michael.
Where's me ladders?
You can see when you put these together, this is slightly larger than this one. You can see a bit more of a gap there. And I would say that you don't know at this point what zombie flesh is going to be like. Is it going to be this size? I mean, you only talking a couple of millimeters, but it could be that one. It could be a bit smaller. Now, the box that these fit, the protectors it fits, is this one here. The SCF4s from Steelbook Central. If you want to get these ones protected, and I'm pretty sure, although I can't guarantee, that the box set for zombie flesh eaters would be the same as SCF4s. I think it would fit them. That's just a bit of a heads up if you want to get your protectors for it. But you might want to wait until it comes out. I can't see them being any bigger than this, and I can't see them being any thinner than this. But the best thing about it is that SCF4s do protect these ones. Now, the only one missing from the big four of Fulci's is the Beyond. Now, I know that it's just come out in the States. It's got an amazing version in the States from Grindhouse releasing. Looks absolutely brilliant. But I do think that sometime in the future they will release it. I mean, Zombie Flesh Eaters looked like it wasn't going to get released over here, but lo and behold, it's coming. So I do think that Arrow, who have had the Beyond before, I do think they would have that sometime down the line. And to get the big four Lucio Fulci films on 4K in big box sets and put them next to each other in the shelves would be a dream come true. So that's a quick note on the Arrow releases thus far. Right, so my views and comparisons between the Blue Underground one and the Arrow one is that the Blue Underground one on DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K have always looked warmer than the ones on Arrow. I think that for some reason that's just the colour time and that's the way they want to do it. I think it does look absolutely brilliant and I haven't got no problems with it whatsoever. The 4K, I would imagine, and this is just me guessing, I would imagine that it's kind of got that bit of a colder feel to it, which I don't mind at all. I think that that looks equally as good if you want the two versions of it, the two palettes, shall we say. Now, the reason why I'm thinking that is because on Arrow have put on online, they've put a trailer, like a remastered trailer, and it looks as if that's going to be the footage they've shot or they've got for the 4K. On here, you do have the film on the 4K, and you do have a Blu-ray where you can have all the extras on it. That's how they do it on this set. Now, what I didn't realize, but I've just noticed when I've been looking, getting some info on this, on the Arrow one, it is on one disc. Now, I don't know what the size of that one disc is. I do think that the 4K on here is on a 100 gig disc. I think that, but I'm not 100% sure on that. When I looked online, I couldn't find anything out about the size of the disc for Arrow. Now, bearing in mind it's only one disc. Now, as extras go, I do think that the extras on here are going to be different from the ones that are on Arrow. It's always been that way. So if you're a fan of extras, this is worth picking up, for the extras alone, which you probably won't get on many of them on the Arrow set. Now, also as well, this used to be really hard to get and really hard to find, especially with the slipcover on. It used to be like big bucks. Now with this one coming out by Arrow, this one's coming out. This one's dropping in price. So you might want to go for this one if you want to get the extras on here. Or you might be more than happy with the Blue Underground 4K, which, like I said, is absolutely brilliant. Now, when you go back to this one here, one of the best things about it is, if you remember, there was a two-disc limited edition to 500 copies of the white box version of Zombie Flesh Eaters, which I used to have, but I sold when I went to get my drum kits. I needed some extra cash for that. I do regret getting rid of that, and it's about £100 online, although that's starting to come down in price. Now, the best thing about that is this had an extra disc on it with extra stuff on, which wasn't available anywhere else. Now, I didn't realize this until recently, but this one here has got all that stuff put on. So you've got every single bit that you would have got on that set is going to be across there, plus some new stuff as well. So from a way of extras, this has got an amazing amount of stuff on, as well as the 4K for the Blue Underground has as well. You're covered on every single thing you could ever imagine to be. But the only problem about that is what I'm thinking about is, and I don't know if it's going to be a problem because the screenshots for the 4K from Arrow do look incredible, is that all of it's on one disc. Now, the 4K for here is on a separate disc, and all the extras on the Blu-ray disc in this pack. Now, that's the way I like it. And there's a song in there somewhere, isn't it? Now, this one here, I'm not trying to cast any doubts on it at all. I do think it will look spectacular. Arrow have got a track record, especially with Lucio Fulci, that put out stuff and it always looks incredible. If you're stuck between choosing, do know that this is set up that way with the extras on another disc. If you feel that that's something that's a deal clincher for you, and everything's on the one disc there. But this version is unreal. This is a great version. I love the slipcover, but of course it's just a slipcover in the case, nothing else. In here, you've got any amount of stuff, which is one of the best things about it. So for me, to recap, I do think that these ones are going to both look incredible. I think that the Arrow one, because I've got a track record of being less colourful, it'll still be colourful, but it'll be more muted, the palette. This one's more vibrant, if you like that sort of thing. And I do think that obviously Arrow win over with the presentation of it, but this one here could win over on the picture quality, because if Arrow are going to put everything on one disc, it might bring down our picture quality. But if that's a 100 gig disc, you might be okay with that. I'm only speculating. But what you've seen from the screenshots from both releases, you're in for a treat, whichever one you pick. This one, I can guarantee you will have a blast with it. And I think that Arrows is going to be equally as good, but it looks slightly different. It has got Dolby Vision on it, and it has got Dolby Audio on as well. It has got Dolby Atmos, should I say. So they've both got the soundtrack the same. And I tell you what, the Atmos on here is unreal. You've never seen anything like it. It's back on Blu-ray.com. This one has got 5 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 for picture and 5 out of 5 for sound as well. I think 4 out of 5 for extras. So it's a hell of a disc. You can't discredit it at all. But this one here is obviously the one that's going to come into play for most people in the UK who want to get the 4K of it, especially if you want to get the lovely special edition, which will match the other ones that you've got. And I can't wait to see it. Obviously, when it comes out, I will be doing a full review on it, and I can't wait to just. So I will, when I'm watching them, I will go between them. I'll go from this one to that one when I watch them. I do watch it quite a lot. I was going to watch it the other day, but I've held off because the one I want to watch next will be the Arrow version, and I'll go through all of that, and I can't wait to see it and unbox it and everything. So hopefully that's given you some idea between the two releases and maybe helped you to pick which one you would want. Obviously, there was no brainer for me. I was going to get the lot. But if you want to be more selective than that, maybe this video can help you choose which one you would like. So thanks for watching. You take care. And remember, the boat can leave now. Cheers.